Not all spiritual paths lead to light. Some delve into forbidden realms. Ancient texts and secret societies hid dangerous truths. Black magic, soul contracts, negative entities, and occult rituals disguised as enlightenment. Many seekers fall into traps: ego inflation, psychic attacks, or manipulation by dark teachers. Governments and religions suppress this knowledge to maintain control. Even meditation and astral projection have shadow sides, false visions, attachments, and reality distortions. This exploration reveals what the gurus won't teach: the risks of awakening, how to protect yourself, and why some truths remain buried. Are you ready to see behind the veil? What begins as a journey towards self-discovery can, for the unprepared, spiral into a confrontation with forces that defy comprehension. This is the dark side of spirituality, the banned knowledge that challenges the sanitized narratives peddled by modern gurus and mainstream institutions alike. The hidden history of forbidden practices. Long before spirituality was packaged into self-help books and yoga retreats, it was a raw, untamed force wielded by shamans, mystics, and sorcerers. Ancient civilizations, Egyptians, Babylonians, and even early Christians, documented practices that straddled the line between divine communion and infernal pact. Texts like the Necronomicon, real or mythologized, the Key of Solomon, and fragments of Gnostic scriptures hint at rituals designed to summon entities, bind souls, or manipulate reality itself. These weren't mere superstitions. They were blueprints, carefully guarded by priesthoods and secret orders like the Rosicrucians or the Templars. Why were they hidden? Power, knowledge of the unseen, whether it's the ability to curse an enemy, commune with spirits, or transcend physical limits, threatens the structures that keep society in check. Religions branded these practices heretical, while governments saw them as tools for rebellion. The Inquisition didn't just burn witches, it incinerated libraries of occult lore. The Vatican's secret archives and the destruction of the Library of Alexandria are testaments to this systematic erasure. What survived was buried in allegory or entrusted to initiates who swore oaths of silence. The traps of the seeker's path. Today, spirituality is marketed as a universal good. Meditate, manifest, ascend. But the deeper one ventures, the more treacherous the terrain becomes. Consider the novice who stumbles into black magic, perhaps unknowingly chanting an incantation from a dusty grimoire found online. What starts as curiosity can end in obsession, with practitioners reporting unexplained illnesses, vivid nightmares, or a pervasive sense of being watched. These aren't just psychological quirks. They're echoes of warnings found in texts like the Tibetan Book of the Dead, which describes malevolent beings lurking in the subtle planes. Soul contracts, agreements allegedly made with entities before or during incarnation, add another layer of complexity. Some esoteric traditions claim that individuals can unknowingly trade their autonomy for power, wealth, or even spiritual insight. The catch? These deals often come with hidden clauses enforced by beings that don't operate on human morality. Stories of Faustian bargains aren't mere fables. They're cautionary tales rooted in a reality that mystics have long understood. Then there's the ego, the seeker's silent saboteur. Spiritual awakening promises liberation, but for many, it inflates the sense of self. "I'm enlightened," they declare, oblivious to the pride that festers beneath. This ego trap is exploited by dark teachers, charismatic figures who cloak their manipulation in cosmic jargon. Cults like Jonestown or the more subtle sway of certain New Age leaders thrive on this vulnerability, drawing followers into psychic dependency or outright exploitation. Negative entities and psychic attacks. The unseen isn't always benevolent. Meditation, astral projection, and other practices that open the mind can also open doors. Yogic traditions speak of asuras, malevolent spirits that prey on the unwary. Western occultism describes lower astral entities, parasitic forces that feed on fear, anger, or spiritual naivety. A meditator might experience a blissful vision one day, only to be plagued by oppressive presences the next. Astral travelers report encounters with shadowy figures or sudden, inexplicable exhaustion, signs of what some call psychic attacks. These phenomena aren't delusions. Indigenous shamans and medieval exorcists alike developed rituals to banish such entities, from smudging with sage to reciting protective mantras. Modern science dismisses them as hallucinations, but the consistency of these accounts across cultures suggests something more. The danger lies in ignorance. Without proper grounding or protection, a seeker becomes a beacon for forces they can't control. The shadow side of safe practices. Even mainstream spiritual tools carry risks. Meditation, hailed as a cure-all, can destabilize the mind if pursued recklessly. Studies, notably from Brown University, have documented cases of meditators experiencing depersonalization, panic, or intrusive thoughts after intensive retreats. The Buddhist concept of Mara, the tempter, warns of illusions that masquerade as truth, leading practitioners astray. Similarly, astral projection, popularized in New Age circles, promises cosmic exploration but often delivers distorted perceptions or attachments to entities that cling to the traveler's energy. These shadow sides are rarely discussed. Gurus emphasize the highs, Kundalini awakenings, third eye openings, while glossing over the lows. Kundalini syndrome, uncontrollable shaking, heat, or psychosis, or visions that twist into nightmares. The suppression of this knowledge isn't accidental. It preserves the illusion of spirituality as a risk-free panacea, keeping seekers hooked and institutions in power. Why the truth stays buried. Governments and religions have a vested interest in controlling the narrative. If the masses understood the mechanics of reality manipulation, whether through magic, intention, or contact with other planes, authority would crumble. The CIA's declassified experiments with remote viewing, Project Stargate, and the Soviet Union's research into psychic warfare reveal that even secular powers took these realms seriously. Yet, public access to such knowledge remains restricted, labeled as fringe or dangerous. Religions, meanwhile, monopolize the divine. By demonizing alternative paths, calling them satanic or delusional, they cement their role as gatekeepers. The Gnostics, who taught that salvation came through inner gnosis rather than clergy, were branded heretics and wiped out. The pattern repeats: what can't be controlled is buried. Protecting yourself on the path. Awareness is the first shield. Recognizing the risks, ego traps, entity interference, or false teachings equips the seeker to navigate wisely. Grounding practices like physical exercise or time in nature anchor the body against psychic instability. Protective rituals, whether a Christian prayer, a Wiccan circle, or a Tibetan visualization, create barriers against unwanted influences. Discernment is key. Question every teacher, vision, or impulse, testing them against intuition and reason. Salt, iron, and certain herbs, sage, rosemary, have been used for centuries as wards. Visualization, imagining a shield of light, channels intent into a tangible defense. Above all, humility guards against the ego's lure. The true adept knows they never fully master the unseen. Peering behind the veil. The dark side of spirituality isn't a deterrent. It's a call to courage. The banned knowledge reveals a universe far stranger and more perilous than the sanitized versions we're fed. Black magic exists alongside white. Enlightenment shares space with delusion. To awaken is to risk everything: sanity, safety, even the soul. Yet it's this very danger that sharpens the journey's meaning. The gurus won't tell you this. They sell half-truths, keeping you complacent and dependent. Governments and religions won't tell you, because knowledge is power they can't afford to share. The ancient texts, the secret rites, the whispered warnings, they're out there, fragmented but alive, waiting for those bold enough to seek them. Behind the veil lies a truth both beautiful and terrifying. We are not alone. We are not safe. And we are far more powerful than we've been led to believe. Are you ready to confront it? The choice is yours, but once you see, there's no turning back. If you found this video informative, make sure to subscribe to this channel for more content. Thank you.